my daughter born, and my daughter suddenly, we never in Russian tradition never say person name. She even tell me nickname of my mom, everything. And she say before I was your mom and this, and she remember when she was born. After after years, we start check what time she was born, and when it's arrived, from the hospital, it's Lockheed name of the nurse. Imagine. So for most difficult moment in my life, even Lockheed was nurse name. But again, it just enormous amount of facts. And about Maya priest, when I fly second time there and I found this giant and I prove, it was so many, maybe 100 people all invite, and their leader, like spiritual leader of Mexico, he looked at me and he said, you was priest from this pyramid. You was named Hayoli, means child derived from the stars. But what amazing, actually, many years before, I published book, and it's about astrology. And in this book, I don't know what name put, and I put name magician. Magician, I had no idea why I put my last name as a magician. But when we already make movie production, we was in Mexico, pyramid of magician. It's pyramid of highest priests, So, I mean, people need to see my movies.
As the blessing welcome Maya messenger ceremony ended, Julia began to speak in her native Mayan language. The celebration ceremony continued at the Koba Pyramid to mark the beginning of a new Maya cycle in time. Julia walked up the pyramid like she did many, many times 2,000 years ago as a priest, and helped celebrate the beginning of a new cycle.
Extremely happy today.
They knew her. They knew Julia as a Mayan priest. They support Julia and wish to hear her message. Julia was recognized by top leaders of other religions as well. Honorable Supreme Monk Wand Om, as a leader of 13 million monks in South Korea, did a blessing ritual for Julia, and as a gift created a drawing for her titled One of a Kind. He said that Julia was a high priest in her past lives.
Now, your author's name on the book is Avatar Svadi. Help us to understand what is that and how did that come to be?
Yes, so I need to tell this, it's very important. It's huge, amazing spirit exists very far away from here, in many far away, another dimension, right? I'm only projection of the spirit here in 3D. So this entity there, it's named Svadi Hatra. It was in my dream, best aliens told me, this is your name, this is how you're flying in space, you don't have passport there, this is how we call you, Svadi Hatra. So, I saw myself often looking from the sky here to my little one, enormous, huge, so big, just enormous. And it's many dreams about this, And even in Atlantis, I remember dream in Atlantis when I staying on the huge crystal, maybe 3-5 meters, enormous big red crystal. I was staying on top like a tourmaline, like this little one, and another one looking at me on the top. That Svadi, it was giant which live in Scandinavia, and here like poem about him and so on and so on. And I remember myself in many lives as a giant. And not just giant like 3 meters, 5 meters, but huge giant. And what I remember, last dream was astonishing because I talked with my scientist, because I was sitting like we're talking now, and near me walking cow, 15 centimeters cow. So we start calculate according to the body of the person and cow, how much, what is my size? It should be 42 meters. 42 meters. And I found proof to this in Afghanistan. They have statue where it's like person like 50 meters statue. So what happened with me when I finished book, everything, and at the very end, I suddenly found article that was giants exist before. I just cried. I was so happy because I'm a scientist. I don't know what to think. For years, I see myself as a giant. I was so happy. Try to find why Svadi Hatra, and I found so much because Hatra, for example, this is ancient city, you know, and in Asia, and this ancient city, everything about god of sun, and after this, so much come out. So this name Svadi Hatra have so many meanings, and in my book it's like few pages, detailed research why Svadi Hatra.
Leah asked Adronis. Adronis is a collective consciousness from the 6th density, talking with Brad Johnson. Why was I able to easily materialize things? When I need something, it appears in front of me out of thin air. Or maybe somebody is doing this for me. Why did I see myself as an enormous, huge person? Who is the second aspect of myself that is looking at me from the sky? Which race do I belong to and come from?
You're doing it. There's nobody else here, right? You're the only one in your universe. So you're the one that is making these manifestations happen because of your energy. The way you're talking to me right now, your energy is like a star. It's very powerful, right? You have very powerful emotional energy, so things can come to you very quickly. It feels like they can materialize out of thin air. It's not that anybody else is doing this. This is you. You are doing it. It's very strong. As you have very strong energy, your emotions from whatever you're thinking about in that way can materialize into that form of physical reality. So Adronis would refer to you as a royal. Okay, so basically what a royal is they have very specific genetics. Their genetics in that sense basically give a lot of multi-dimensional capability. So you're capable of going into many different dimensions at the same time. So this is what's referred to as a royal, as Adronis would put it. You would come from a lineage that really doesn't have a name, right? It's very higher up. So it's kind of like a celestial consciousness in that way. So you basically exist within higher dimensions. You really couldn't point to a star and say, oh, that's where I'm from. Really, as souls, we're not from this universe at all. We're visitors. But from very much of where you came from to come into this body, it's an energy that's very high up, but we don't really have a name for it. The greatest idea is that a higher celestial would be the closest thing I could put. It's beyond a secret space program. It's a different type of space program, but not the ones that's been documented. It's ones a lot more beyond that. Be more part of a confederation.
Vi su vestimenta de una sacerdotisa maya.
He saw her as a Mayan priest. The name as a priest, her name as a priest 2,000 years ago is Helai.
Era hija del gran Ascal, señor que mueve las estrellas. Así la visualicé a ella.
He saw her as the son of Gran Ascal, the god that moves the stars. This is a spiritual message that you have to be given to the world. It has to be continuous because you were the priest that lived here 2,000 years ago, and you are the chosen to give this message.
Why and how airplane was end up in contradiction location? Here letter from John Thompson, Nauticus, to me. There is no scientific evidence that would place the plane where you thought it, based on radio and fuel analysis, plus navigation analysis produced by this team of 27 experts. Please, I need some reason to convince our team leader to move the search area. Now I am giving the answer. By now you have heard opinions about extra abilities of the spirit named Svadi Hatra from Adronis, who represent collective consciousness from 6th density, from Don Julio and Van Damme, who name it goddess. This powerful spirit was living in Amelia's body, and now it resides in mine, Julia's body. Svadi Hatra decided to help humanity and took a 1,000-year-long project with the chain of past lives. As an Amelia, she signed a contract and was agreed to have an intense, dangerous life, at first flying to long distances and next to sacrifice her own life in order to collect and preserve facts. Next, airplane needs to disappear in mysterious ways in order to attract people's attention, keep the interest of the people for many years. Why? Because Amelia needed time to be reborn as Julia, move to America, to collect facts all over the world, and to complete the soul contract by writing the book with the unshaken proof of reincarnation and presenting it to humanity. How did she hide the airplane? At the last moment, when the airplane was near Holland Island, teleportation was made by Svadi Hatra. Lots of examples of teleportation done by myself, Julia, during this lifetime, and that cases was recorded in the book with testimonials from witnesses. For example, a glass full of water appeared from the thin air and staying in the air until I took it and started to drink, and it was in front of hotel workers. In order to do teleportation, need electricity. I do have powerful electricity abilities, which continues from my life in Atlantis, where I was fixing dome over a pyramid by energy coming via my own eyes. I have abilities of going back and forth in time. For example, from Vancouver, I went to Seattle 3 years back in time and was asking Russian nuclear physics scientists secrets about pionic atoms. I have abilities for materialization when objects or even real life animals appear from the thin air, like butterfly in mid of February in Canada when outside was snow, or real life rabbit at Chinese Rabbit New Year. I also have abilities to travel via black holes to other galaxies. Amelia can do what nobody else can do, right? Now you will fully understand the meaning of these words. Yes, this is extra proof the mind has power over matter. I wish you to understand God. Man with his qualities is a man-God. Universe was created by thoughts. Now, when humanity is ready for the disclosure, only in my new, soon coming book, Amelia Return, all secrets unfold. But as for now, you can see in short on website pages Amelia's secrets and unexplained mysteries. People who have kind, loving heart can have and use these abilities as well. For example, I already taught 2 people how, by using your mind, to remove harmful energy in the houses by turning to other directions underground river streams at the geopathogenic zones area. I call it God-Man technique.
And it could, if you're holding more love in your heart, again, that could affect the toroidal field. Because as I explained before, the heart creates an electromagnetic field based on the emotion it's feeling. If it's feeling fear, the toroidal field will contract. If it's feeling love, the toroidal field will expand, i.e. you're making more electromagnetic field if you're happy. And they said that essentially a person's consciousness is dictated by their DNA and by their soul contract. And they said to me that the toroidal field expands away from the body depending on the amount of love which is being felt in the human vessel or the energetic being, is dictated by many factors which all equate to a total sum of love.
We see human beings occupying the entire universe. We're not just talking about your star system or your local star cluster or your galaxy. We're talking about human beings traveling throughout the entire universe, assigning tasks to themselves to make the universe even brighter, because that's how powerful each and every single one of you are. You do not know how powerful you are. And we really do not even have the words to try to tell you that. You have to see it for yourself. And this is the beginning time of seeing it. It was something that long ago in ancient human history, humans were a lot more aware of their inner nature. They were far more aware of working together with their own intuitive sight, with their own intuitive perceptions, and they were able to bless the earth. Those are the human beings of the ancient times. And you're coming back again. But in order for you to fully come back, everything that represents this externality, this distraction, this shadowy ego needs to diminish, so that there is much more of a connection to the earth. There is much more a connection to others. But most importantly, there is much more connection to your own heart, to your own mind, to your own soul. The body and the mind are given to you. Did you know that? And what is it that that mind can truly do? Create worlds, create stars, create galaxies, create an entire universe. That's what it can do. We're getting closer and closer to that very blossoming that we speak of, that will start to realize your own inner power. That inner power, as we stated, creates worlds, creates stars, creates galaxies, creates the entire universe. That's what you're capable of.
What does your family think about this newfound discovery of you being Amelia Earhart?
It was so funny because I don't have with me this first book. When I published first book about Amelia Reborn in 2008, and I show my father and he academician, professor, everything. And he look at this and he say, "Is this your book? Why you put on the top black and white picture of your mom? You should put color. See how many pictures we have. What is thinking about?" Because my mom and Amelia looks alike, absolutely. But what amazing, in this video which we just saw at the end, you see it's like blue ball, like a lightning fireball, right? This is how Amelia and my spirit looks like in this most high dimension. And this is what Brad Johnson explained together with Adronis. So my mom and her sister was, sitting in mountains in the house, and it was open window, and suddenly it's fly inside this round lightning ball, inside, flying around them, stop near my mom, and after fly out. So, and after this, I was born. So, I mean, before Amelia decided to reborn, her spirit was looking for the mom. I was very little, 2, 3 years old. I already asking my parents, where is Eleonora? They say, you know, we don't have even name like this, Eleonora, but it's in my dream, Eleonora. All the time asking, and after say, Elen maybe, and I need this Eleonora near me. And after, okay, my sister born, of course, she Elena. But later, when I already found that, yes, I was Amelia and everything, my friend was Eleanora Roosevelt, right?
Julia's story continues to come into focus. But can it stand up to the scrutiny of Marianne Nutshell, a writer and well-known past life therapist in Europe?
I look at all the past life sessions I did with clients, and I did like thousands over the past 20 years. Especially investigated Julia's case, because I get to know her and I get to know about her dreams, about her visions, about her hypnosis sessions she did. And as a therapist, I have the urge to test, to check if that's correct, if it's not like fake or phony or someone who's just telling something. But I check on emotions, I check on like, are the change of past lives, are they fitting into what she's telling now? After verifying a lot of facts in her sessions and in, yes, she is a reincarnated Maya priest, and yes, she had several other past lives.
According to my research, I found that each person have multidimensional, beautiful spiritual hologram. Actually, this is person's spirit, and it looks like multidimensional hologram. And this hologram preserves all past life, all knowledge, all skills, all experience, even habits which person received during this life. And it's transferring as an inheritance to the newborn baby after person die. This is very important to know because, first of all, it's personal, each person have it. From another side, it's very, very strong. It's more strong what we have in Earth right now.
People who remember their reincarnation, who were born after they died in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Their body literally evaporated, but the hologram and the memories about their lives are preserved.
We have countries in a constant state of conflict and war, energy of racism and intolerance and suffering amongst people. How can we begin to create peace on earth?
Each of us have many, many past lives. Many past lives. And during these past lives, you know, people would belong to different nationality and religion and race. For example, see right now, I'm Julia, have white skin. Before, I was Maya priest and I have red skin. So it's exactly the same for all people.
During hundreds of reincarnations, people belong to different races. If they understand this, they will understand there is no need to fight with others of a different race. Christians, Muslims, and others fight each other when there is nothing to fight about. In a past life, the Christian may have been a Muslim and vice versa. They should come to understand that this is their past, and this is what was before, and this is their hologram.
People just don't know that they will end up in this situation, because all of them who live right now, all these people will be reborn. They will all reborn. And if they broke right now nature and they spent all these resources and nothing left, this is where they will end up in next their life.
We need to protect nature and its resources for future generations.
And when we start remembering where we came from, from outer space a long time ago, or that we had past lives, many different countries, races, beliefs, religions, that we understand that we are all like binded, like we belong together. So The more we understand that we're all connected, not only in this life, but also in past lives and in lives to come, the more we take care for each other, and the more we think, well, I think that will be better for the world, for our species.
I wish to talk about fear more. It's extremely important for people, for example, who are risking their life in daily job. Test pilots, firefighters, military, police, doctors or scientists who work with deadly bacteria. My friend, test pilot, he say, I'm going to the airplane and I don't know if I return today to my family, if I will be alive today, you know.
The firefighters were happy with Julia's discovery. They said, "We're going into the burning building, and we don't know if this roof will collapse on us or if we'll be alive today or not."
For them, it's extremely important to know, yes, they have this spiritual hologram, they have this eternal hologram, it's eternal things. And never mind what happened with them, they will born again.
When I was younger, people would ask me about the question, and I'd say, yeah, I don't believe in that. And after I got into the field, it's pretty obvious that there's something there, and I had to go look further. Julia is a very special person. She and I have had past lives together, but the most recent one that she did was the one in Chichen Itza where she was the Mayan priest.
And there are several things that I've looked at. So when I saw Julia's website, I go, yeah, Amelia Earhart, right, sure. I went to her website and she had the proof. The other thing that happened yesterday, and very important with past life regressions and past life therapy, are the emotions there? Because if you make it up, the emotions are not there. But if it's real, she was crying yesterday, she was very emotional yesterday when she was talking about the Mayan priest. That really proves on an emotional, deep level for me as a professional that it in fact is true. I have no doubt whatsoever that Julia was Amelia Earhart or a Mayan priest, and in fact, she and I have been together in a past life where she was the Queen of Atlantis. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
As a result of serious investigation of two Plato's book, George Sarantina discovered real meaning in the text and found Atlantis location. George Sarantina, who is Plato reborn, asking, but what really happened with Atlantis? If you're lucky to discover the truth, you can share it with me. As the queen of this early Atlantis kingdom, I have a responsibility to tell the world, and first to George, my final answer to his question. Please, no more doubts. My source, it's a memory of our Atlantis highest priests, a secret KGB file as a result of connection with benevolent race, and it's finally confirmed by Andromedian contactee Alex Collier. Alex is correct. It was the reptilians that destroyed Atlantis and triggered the Younger Dryas period with the asteroid bombardment and atomic warfare. The asteroid impact in Mauritius near the eye of the Sahara is the one that punctured the lava dome there and caused the West African plate to sink. This changed the direction of the Nile and drained the largest freshwater lake in the world, Lake Mega Chad. This also affected the atmospheric moisture band connection between Brazil and Northern Africa, creating the North African desert and changing the climate in Central America. The larger of the two main asteroids, Strix, was in Greenland and is presently under the ice sheet there. This is the one that triggered the Younger Dryas event. The flooding of the North Sea and the Mediterranean occurred at the end of this period when the Arctic ice wall collapsed.